One problem that just seems to be getting worse is the impact of the cost of living is having on people's finances. Shocking new figures released today show that 21 million are now struggling to afford their household bills.
Now, we want to help you where we can, as do so many wonderful charities. So we're heading live to Leeds, where our finance expert, Iona Bain, is at one of the largest debt advice centres in the UK. Morning, Iona.
Morning.
Good morning, Helen and Gethin. Yes, I am here at the Leeds head office of StepChange, which is the UK's biggest debt advice charity, and is shaping up to be a busy morning. I can see the advisors here already taking calls from the public, but also working online to help people with their debt problems. But to be honest, guys, I get the impression that busy days are the norm for debt advisors at the moment. Just to give you a sense of just how busy StepChange is, it received hundreds of thousands of inquiries last year. Indeed, it does so every year. And last year, it helped nearly 20,000 people become completely debt-free. Well, to find out more, I'm joined by Vicky Brownridge, the CEO of StepChange. Hello.
Hello.
So tell us a little bit more about StepChange and the work that it does to get people back on track with their finances.
So StepChange is a UK-wide debt advice and debt solutions charity. So we help people all over the UK, online and over the phone, to get back on top of their finances. So we'll prepare a budget and we'll look at what debt solutions are available to them. And then if we can put them on a solution, we'll help them all the way through to being debt-free.
And you've worked for the charity for, 18 years or so. In your view, how difficult is the situation for borrowers at the moment, and how is that reflected in the kinds of problems you're dealing with?
Yeah, so it's very difficult. We're certainly seeing more people reach out for help than we did last year or the year before, but also the nature of people's problems have changed, so things are a lot more complex. So over the last 18 months, with increased energy costs, inflation, increased rent and mortgage costs, council tax, etc., has really put a strain on household finances. So what we're seeing is much more complexity. So people are in arrears with energy debt, council tax, mortgage and housing, as well as having credit card and loan debt.
Really worrying, but also good to get that context. Thank you so much, Vicky.
Thank you.
Well, there are about 1,100 debt advisors working for StepChange. 800 are based out of the Leeds office here, some working from home, some working in the office, some doing a bit of both, but all working hard to help people with their debt issues. But if you've never talked to a debt advisor before, you might be wondering, what's it like? What can I expect? And who am I going to talk to on the other end of the line? Well, I'm joined by one of the friendly voices that you might hear if you phone up StepChange. Dawn is one of the debt advisors that works for StepChange. I'm just going to pull up a chair. Thank you so much for agreeing to chat to us. We know how busy you must be at the moment. And just give us a sense of what a day in the life of a debt advisor is like.
Busy, that's for sure.
I bet.
Basically, we answer calls. We talk to all walks of life. Customers give us a quick call. They may be in very dire situations, really distressed over what's going on for them as far as their debts are concerned. And we'll let them talk, let them tell us all about it, and then we'll encourage them to do a debt advice session. So they can do that with me over the phone or online. The online's are available 24 hours. We work through the debts, their income, the spending, what they need to live on. It needs to be realistic.
Yeah.
They can't just think, oh, I just spend this. We have to have a deep conversation to ensure it's right for them. And we'll work out what's best for them to do with the debts, work out an action plan, provide them with a personal action plan which details everything we've discussed and what the solution might be, and they can use that to go ahead with the solution, or they can use it to go back to creditors that might want to see their position at the moment. So it's a really good tool for them to use.
And what are the repayments that people are struggling with the most at the moment?
At the moment, it tends to be the energy. We're seeing people where they've missed a little bit, might be circumstances where they've been poorly, or they've lost a job, where things really have a big change in their environment. And they've got a debt. They may have just got a month or two missing, or the energy companies dictated they need to pay quite a hefty sum each month, which is really difficult for them to find. And they've had that conversation with them, and really the energy company said, go and speak to StepChange, have a chat. we'll work through it. Sometimes it's a payment plan. We can give them the paperwork to go back and say, well, yeah, this is what I actually can afford. It might take a bit longer, but they'll get in a good place. Or we could be looking at something a bit more different, like insolvency.
Sounds like such an important process to go through. What's your one piece of advice for anyone who's watching this who's struggling with their debts?
Just get in touch. We're here on the phones and, like I say, online 24 hours. Just get in touch and ask for help. It's that simple.
Brilliant. Well, we'll let you get back to your work. Thank you so much, Dawn. Appreciate you chatting to us. Debt is a subject that is not going to go away anytime soon, and that is why we're going to continue to focus on it here at Morning Live. And I'm going to be at Step Change all morning, taking your questions about debt. So if you could do with a bit of practical advice, get in touch, morninglive@bbc.co.uk, and I'll be back a bit later to answer as many questions as I can.
Cheers, Iona. 20,000 people they helped become debt-free last year, so it's definitely worth sticking with us. Iona